Hey everybody, it's Eric, 80s Horror Man here, and welcome to my end of the month haul for the month of July. So in this haul you're going to see Blu-rays, one magnet, and some autographs. So without further ado, let's get started with the haul. So first, this magnet, I ended up pre-ordering this last month, and I saw the price for it, and I said I definitely had to get this because this is to my number one favorite vampire movie of all time, and that's the magnet to Fright Night, the original. So I had to get that magnet because it's the same poster art as it is that's on VHS that everyone is familiar with, and what can I say? I had to get it because it's my number one favorite vampire movie of all time. So, had to get the magnet to Fright Night. Okay, now let's get on to the autographs here. First autograph I end up getting is Christiana Loken from Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. So I had to get that one. Next for the autograph I had to get is Tom Atkins from The Fog. So I have 3 autographs of his now. One from Night of the Creeps, Halloween 3, and now The Fog. So I had to get that because he's definitely a good actor. He's one of my favorite actors there too. Next, for the autograph, I ended up getting. Now, I had you could say I had a crush on this person, like in my teens, when I first saw her in Wild Things, and the person I'm talking about is Denise Richards, who played Dr. Christmas Jones in that James Bond movie, The World Is Not Enough. So, very happy to have that one now. Another one I end up getting is another picture of Christiana Loken, but this time, this is a picture of her from the movie Blood Rain. That's based on a video game. I used to have the movie on DVD, but I think I gave it to a friend of mine because I just didn't watch that movie that much, and I thought the movie was okay, so I had to get this one of Christiana Loken from Blood Rain. Next one I ended up getting is Melinda Clarke from Return of the Living Dead 3. So I definitely had to get this autograph of hers because it's the same cover art that she poses for the movie Return of the Living Dead 3. So, very glad to have that. Another one I ended up getting, and if you remember the photo I showed you before, and again how much I had a crush on her in my teens when I saw her in Wild Things, so there you have it. Denise Richards from Wild Things, so I definitely had to get that one. Another autograph I ended up getting is Ellie Cornell, who played Rachel in Halloween's 4 and 5. So very happy to have that. Add to my Halloween collection for the autographs. Another one I end up getting is Billy Zane from Demon Knight. So, Billy Zane, who plays the Collector in Demon Knight, definitely had to get it. Another one I end up getting is director Adam Green, who's the man who ended up doing the Hatchet movies and also played in that TV show Holliston. So I definitely had to get Adam Green's autograph. Another one I ended up getting is Mitch Pileggi, who played Horace Pinker from Shocker. So I definitely had to get it because Shocker is such a very fun movie and definitely has some good songs to the movie as well. Another one I had to get is Peter Weller from Screamers. I do have his autograph as RoboCop, but I definitely had to get this one of him from Screamers because when I first saw Screamers, I thought this movie was fun. I definitely enjoyed that one a lot. So very happy to have that one. Another one I ended up getting is she used to wrestle in the WWE, but she just recently made her surprising return this past year at WrestleMania. So I had to get it, Paige. So yep, I definitely had to get that one. Another one I ended up getting is Kane Hodder, who plays Victor Crowley from the Hatchet movies. So I got 3 autographs of Kane Hodder now. One of him as Jason from part 7, one from part 8 as Jason, and now I got something of him as Victor Crowley from the Hatchet movies. Next, I definitely had to get this one because she's now making convention appearances, so hopefully I'll actually meet her in person and see what other choices for photos that she has. And the person I'm talking about is Alyssa Sutherland from Evil Dead Rise, where she put Eric, best wishes, mommy's with the maggots now, right down the bottom. And she signed it and put her name, Ellie, because that's who she plays in Evil Dead Rise. Next, I didn't think it would be possible for me to get this autograph, and I'm actually surprised I actually did, because this woman is a very recognizable actress. She's one of my favorite actresses, and I love the movies that she's done over the years. And the person I'm talking about is Sharon Stone from Basic Instinct. And I loved her performance in Basic Instinct, and that movie is definitely one of my favorites of all time, and I think it's also Michael Douglas's best one. And that's also one of my favorites of his. So I definitely had to get Basic Instinct. Another one I ended up getting is another autograph of Sharon Stone, but this time this is a picture of her from Basic Instinct 2. And part 2 is not really the greatest. It's okay, but the first one was just way better. So I had to get this one of her from part 2 of Basic Instinct. Next one I end up getting is Dana DiLorenzo, who plays Kelly Maxwell from the TV show Ash vs. Evil Dead. So definitely had to get this one because Ash vs. Evil Dead is my number one favorite horror TV show of all time. It sucks they only did 3 seasons of it. I wish they would have continued on, but what can you do? Another autograph that I end up getting is Liv Morgan. She's a wrestler, so I definitely had to get an autograph of Liv Morgan. So because she was like one of my favorite wrestlers who's still wrestling at the time, but her character has just been acting like a total bitch just because she's with that group, the Judgment Day. So I had to get an autograph of Liv. Another autograph that I end up getting is Melinda Clarke from Return of the Living Dead 3. So I had to get this one as well, because I ended up liking this picture where it shows like all the stuff that she used to pierce her skin just so she could stop the pain, like putting the nails in her forearm, cutting her legs and everything. So I definitely had to get this one. Another one I ended up getting, and I definitely had to get it, and that's Tobin Bell, who plays John Kramer, aka Jigsaw from the Saw movies. So definitely had to get it. Where he put to Eric, game over. So very happy to have that in my collection. Another autograph I ended up getting is from another wrestler, and that's Alexa Bliss. So I had to get that one because she's definitely one of my favorites. And the last for the autographs I ended up getting, even though I have his autograph from RoboCop, but I figured I'd get it from another movie of his, and that's Ray Wise from Jeepers Creepers 2. So I had to get this one of Ray Wise, so I got two autographs of his now, one from RoboCop and one from Jeepers Creepers 2, where he put to Eric, he took my boy. So very happy to have that in my collection now. Alright, so now let's get on to the Blu-rays. First up, I ended up buying this up at Walmart tonight. It was excuse me. It was like $13 for this movie, and I've seen these movies before, but never had them in my collection. But I figured I might as well get them just to finally have them in the collection, since I have just about almost every single movie of his in my collection. And that's the collection of Conan, the complete quest, where it's got Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. So yeah, it says that this is supposed to glow in the dark, so we're about to see how this looks when it's completely dark outside. So that's the slip cover. And right there, that's the actual artwork for Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. Again, I saw these movies before, but it's been a while since I've seen them, so very glad to finally have these in my collection now, just to add to my Schwarzenegger collection I have. I ended up getting this movie from eBay. I remember my uncle used to have this movie on VHS. I remember seeing bits and pieces of it, but I never saw the whole thing. And the movie I'm talking about is Indecent Proposal. Where this is a movie that everyone is familiar with, because this was done in 1993, I wanted to say. And the person who directed this movie is the same person who directed Fatal Attraction and Flashdance. So if you're not familiar with this movie, it's got Robert Redford, Demi Moore, and Woody Harrelson in it. About where they play you basically have Woody Harrelson and Demi Moore. They're a couple, or where they're in so much trouble, they're in debt, so they decided to go to Las Vegas to win some money to pay off their debt. And turns out they lose everything. And then Robert Redford, who plays the millionaire, offers them some money. He offers them $1 million, but the catch is he'll give them $1 million if he spends an evening with wife. So, Indecent Proposal, but pretty good movie. Definitely end up liking that one. Next, another one I never owned in my collection, even though I've seen this movie before a couple of times, but it's just been a while since I watched it. And everyone is definitely familiar with this movie, because this is like one of the most popular and recognizable movies from the 90s, and that's Natural Born Killers. This has got a pretty good cast. You got Woody Harrelson, you got Juliette Lewis, you got Robert Downey Jr., and you have Tommy Lee Jones in this one. And this is directed by Oliver Stone, who directed Wall Streets 1 and 2. So if you have not seen it, Natural Born Killers, definitely recommend checking it out because this is definitely a very good movie to watch. Next, I ended up getting this movie through the Indiegogo campaign, and I ended up watching it, and I thought this movie was actually not bad. I thought it was pretty good. It's got my friend Felissa Rose in it, and it's also got Dave Sheridan, who played Officer Doofy. And the movie I'm talking about is New Year's Eve, where you got this guy who calls himself the Doctor, just going on a murderous rampage, just killing people, and the police and the FBI have not been able to catch this guy. But then a group of workers decides to have a New Year's party where they work, and the masked killer, the Doctor, decides to crash the party and decides to continue his bloody rampage. So New Year's Eve, I thought it was actually fun. I definitely liked it. I thought the kills were actually very unique. There was some good blood, good gore, and Felissa's death scene in this movie, I just could not believe it because that was actually the first time I've actually ever seen anything like that in a horror movie, ever. So, New Year's Eve, definitely a fun movie. Also, my friend PJ got me a $50 gift card for Amazon for my birthday, like she always does. So I ended up using it to get some Blu-rays off of Amazon. And one of these Blu-rays I ended up getting is actually an upgrade from the DVD to the Blu-ray, and that's Romancing the Stone. And everyone is familiar with this movie. If you have not seen this movie, this is a action comedy where it's got Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner and Danny DeVito in this one. And this is also directed by Robert Zemeckis, the same guy who did Castaway, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Polar Express, and just so much more. So, Romancing the Stone, classic. I ended up getting this one off of eBay, and I used to have this movie on DVD, but I think I either gave it to a friend of mine, or I think I might have traded it in just to get some money. But I figured fuck it, just get it on Blu-ray, that way I could have it in my collection, and that way I could just watch it in case if I'm like bored out of my damn mind, I just can't find nothing good to watch. And the movie I'm talking about is Basic Instinct 2. So yeah, as you saw in that photo, the autograph with Sharon Stone, she's back in this one, playing that novelist, Catherine Chamel, who's in trouble with the law again. And like I said, this movie is okay. It's not really the best, not really the greatest, but the first one was just definitely 10 times better, way better. And this movie has both versions of the movie, the theatrical and the director's cut. And what's very fascinating is I looked on the internet to see why Michael Douglas did not return to do Basic Instinct 2, and for two reasons. One, he said he was getting old, and two, he said it took them 14 years to get this movie made. So that's how long it took to finally get this movie made, 14 years, because this movie came out in 2006, and you gotta think that Basic Instinct was done back in 1992. So that's why Michael Douglas did not return to play in Basic Instinct 2, what Sharon Stone did. So if you have seen this one, like I said, it's okay, but the first one was just way better. Next, I ended up picking this one up from Walmart this past Monday. It was the last one they had, last copy of it, for $20. So I figured, might as well get it because I've seen this movie before, like once, but I never owned it in my collection. But I finally do now have it in my collection, and that's Ghoulies. So, but if you're not familiar with Ghoulies, you got these little creatures that get summoned by black magic, and they end up causing havoc. I have seen the rest of the movies of the Ghoulies, I definitely enjoyed the first three. The fourth one, not really the greatest. It was just not really that good. So you can watch these movies for free. You could watch the first three on Tubi, and you could watch the fourth one for free on Amazon Prime. So Ghoulies, finally have that in my collection now, but I'll be sure to get part 2 and part 3 soon, hopefully, somewhere down the road. Next, another movie I end up getting with the Amazon gift card. And this is also another upgrade from the DVD to the Blu-ray. And that's Starship Troopers. I remember seeing previous to this one back in 1997 when I was a kid. And I thought this movie looked pretty fun. And this movie was actually pretty fun. It was actually good. The movie kind of takes place in the future, where you got the people on a distant planet killing these giant bugs, and these bugs are just fucking big. They're fucking huge, man. And they will kill you, and they will rip you apart. So, Starship Troopers, fun movie. Another one I end up getting on Blu-ray with the gift card. It is another upgrade from the DVD to the Blu-ray, and this movie is unrated, just like how I had the DVD, because the DVD I had was unrated as well. And the movie I'm talking about is Wild Things. So, if you're not familiar with Wild Things, this came out in 1998, and I remember watching this movie when I was a kid, and this was I was still in high school at the time. And when my mom saw the threesome scene in this movie, she's just like, we're not keeping this movie. And I just looked at her and I said, why not? So, that's the reason why she didn't want to keep the movie, because of that threesome scene in this movie. But when you watch the unrated version, it does show some more extra scenes that you never saw in the theatrical version. And this has got Kevin Bacon, Matt Dillon, Neve Campbell, Denise Richards, Bill Murray, and so much more. So if you're not familiar with Wild Things, definitely check it out. But I never saw the sequels though. So I never saw the sequels to Wild Things. And last, for the Blu-rays that I end up getting, I also got this from Amazon, and I was hoping I'd be able to get this up at Walmart, but Walmart had no copies of this movie at all whatsoever. No price tag labeled for it on DVD or Blu-ray. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I had to get this from Amazon, and I saw this movie in theaters earlier this year, back in May, and I definitely ended up liking it. And that's Deep Water, where it's got Aaron Eckhart and Ben Kingsley in it. And this movie is directed by Rennie Harlan, the same guy who did Deep Blue Sea, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Die Hard 2, Cliffhanger, and so much more. Where the airplane crashes in the water, but surviving the crash is just the beginning, because it turns out that plane crashed in shark-infested waters. So now what's there for survivors have to fight off against these sharks and try to survive. So this movie was actually pretty good. I definitely ended up liking this one. So if you have not seen it, the movie just came out. So it is available on whatever streaming platforms you guys get. So definitely recommend checking out Deep Water. Alright guys, so that's it for my haul for the month of July. What do you guys think? Have you seen any of these movies before? Did you like any of the autographs I showed off? If so, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Also, like and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for some more videos. Later.